To you. It's me, Scottie McCLUE, and we are, of course, live on the big one, the internet phone-in. Welcome, 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 I say, to Friday night. Nothing gets past me. Yes, indeed. Friday the 26th. How amazing is that? Show number 89. Oh, my goodness me. Oh, my word. What on earth is happening? Show number 89. All the people that thought the phone-in would never get off the ground, and here we're on show 89. Now, that's what I call amazing. Fantastic. Lovely to have you with us. Let's see what's happening in the chat here tonight. Hi, Scottie. Hi, Martin. DINKY-DOO. Robert says, good evening, Scottie. Good evening, Robert. Lovely to have you with us, and a very, very warm welcome. Now, I take it you've subscribed to the YouTube channel. Very, very important that we do that because we're building this up. Suzanne says, good evening, Scottie and everyone. And 2 lovely kisses from Suzanne. I hope you're keeping well, Suzanne. Is everything okay? Because I know you were a little bit poorly for a wee while, a week or 2 ago. And you said last night, you hinted that it was still going on. Oh, dearie, dearie me. Now, let's just see what's happening. I want to get the TikTokers with us tonight as well. So we'll see if we can get a hold of them. The TikTokers. Fantastic, because it's always good to have the TikTokers with us. Scottie McCLUE is very, very successful on TikTok, as you can hear. So there we are. Let's just see what's happening here. Lovely, lovely. And we'll set it up for you. We're a bit tight for battery. So that's the reason I wasn't sitting ahead on the TikTok as we speak. Wonderful stuff. And we'll call it the internet phone-in. That's what we'll call it tonight. That's what we usually call it at night. And it lets people know what's going on. Because they go, what's this? What is this? What is happening? I say to you, how lovely to have everybody with us. Last night's show, by the way, outstanding. Just tremendous. Right, the internet phone-in. Let's get this done. And then we are away. The internet phone-in. Right, that's it done. Wonderful. And we're ready to start. So that involves, hang on a second. That involves going live. Wonderful. Here we go. So just bear with me while we get this sorted out, and then we are away. The internet phone-in, it didn't take, I don't think, the last time. These things are so small, have you noticed that? The internet phone-in, lovely. And we'll put FYP for your page. People like that. And there we are. And we like to do what the people like. That's it. Let's see if this takes okay. Yep. And we'll just go live now. Good. Right. That's the old TikTokers will be joining us shortly. Let's see what you're all saying. And good evening, Scottie, says the wonderful D. Gurley. Hi, Kareem, says Susan. How are you, Susan, says Kareem. Scottie, my daughter's got a surprise for you tonight. Excellent bronchi. D says, hi, Susan. Hello, sir. You're my favorite man. Lovely to hear you, my friend. My dear Keith, you have been so kind and so generous to Scottie McCLUE. Absolutely incredible. I'm okay, thanks, Suzanne. How are you? Hi, D. How are you? The guys like to have a wee chat amongst themselves. So that's what's going on there tonight, I say. Now, let's just check the phone-ins and see what's happening at the phones in case somebody's trying to get through and would like to chat to you. Thanks for inviting me, Scottie. DINKY-DOO. Not at all, Dave. Good evening, Lord McCLUE. Good evening to you. You're live on Scottie's phone-in. Who's that?
All right, Scottie. You all right, mate?
Who's that?
It's Pablo.
Pablo. How lovely to hear you. Guys, Keith Snedden has just given me £5.
That's a good one, Scottie. I'll send the donation in soon.
Oh, no, don't you worry, Pablo. There's no charge for Scottie McCLUE, but people are incredibly generous.
He has to be, Scottie. All you do for free, it can't go, what's the word for it? Unseen.
Well, you know what they say, the things that are seen are transient. The things that are unseen are eternal.
Well, that's very true, that's Scottie. And you know what, today, it was weird because I was saying, my daughter, she's going to the cathedral on the 6th of December to sing in the choir.
Oh, wow. To Salford Cathedral.
Yeah, I think it's that, or the Manchester.
Or Manchester Cathedral, yes.
Yeah, so I was just explaining to her, saying Scottie McCLUE likes stuff like that.
Oh, love it. Yes, I used to be. I was a chorister.
A chorister? What's a chorister?
A chorister, you sing. I was one of the ones wearing what you call the surplice. And we used to go and sing in the choir. So a chorister is really just a choir member.
Ah, right.
Yes.
Well, it's weird, Scottie, because my son, he was in the choir when he was in school, primary school. He's just gone in high school, so his voice is changing. But they did a little duet tonight. It was really, really good.
It was lovely.
My daughter, because it's Christmas and we're coming into the festive season, can she sing you a little tune, Scottie?
Well, the only problem is we have copyright problems on here. So I don't know what it is.
Right.
That's my worry, which is a blooming shame. But we had a lovely, lovely lady, quite a famous accordionist. And she came on the radio show and she used to play the accordion. Now, the radio station's okay because it's got a music license. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. But she then played one on I think it was the YouTube, and we got a copyright problem.
Right.
Now, it got sorted, but it was such a shame. As soon as it came up came the, oh, you have breached the copyright.
Yeah, I know what you're on about there, Scott.
We had to sort it out, and it's a blooming nuisance, because obviously I love music. I would love to play you tunes on the show, but someday...
Yeah, someday. But anyway, going back onto that, I was telling my daughter anyway that you like stuff like that. I mentioned the accordion, and when you was on the radio, we all used to ring up and do stuff like that. And then you pop up and start playing. What's that thing you play, Scottie?
That's the squeeze box. Now that's all right, because these are just old traditional songs, so nobody's got the copyright on it. So that's that one there. I don't know if you can see it at the moment.
No, I'm not on the YouTube yet. Vicky's got it up. Yeah, I can see it. That's what you was playing.
That's what I was playing. So you see, you can give somebody a little bust of something on that there. I'll just give you a bar or two.
Okay.
Yes?
Absolutely amazing, Scottie.
So
yeah, she's a bit disappointed, but we'll explain to her proper.
Yeah, bless her, but thank her very, very much, because I'd love to hear her sing on here. But that's our problem, you see.
Yeah, no, I understand. Right, before I go, Scottie, what I want to say is what you did last night, it's been proper contagious with the laughter. We've just been laughing after that phone call, Scottie.
Oh, that was David. He was amazing.
Yeah, I was cracking jokes. I don't know where I got it from, but after that phone call with me and you, I was cracking jokes left, right, and centre, and it's like I found my humour that I've lost. So thank you for that, Scottie, because I was a very funny guy at one point.
You are a very funny guy. You've got your mojo back.
Yeah, well, not just funny looking, but funny guy too. You know what I mean, Scott?
Fantastic. That is brilliant.
Right, well, anyway, I'll send you a clip on the, after she does on the 6th of December somehow, I'll try and get you a little...
Beautiful, and I can listen to it off air. That would be gorgeous. Lovely to have you with us, McCLUE.
Yeah.
DINKY-DOO, Pablo. All the best. Ta-la. How fantastic. Now, James Gibb, DINKY-DOO, Lord McCLUE, what's your weather forecast for the festive season? I'll give that to you. Hi, Scottie. Great show watching with Ed and Joe. Much love, Elise. You are beautiful people. Thank you so much. The kind of people I would have liked to spend the evening with. Who's this? Hello, you're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hi, Scottie. It's Kareem. How you doing?
Kareem, how lovely to hear you. Are you DINKY-DOO?
DINKY-DOO, yes.
Kareem, just 2 seconds. We're going a bit daft here on the TikTok. Love it when you give us a tune. Scottie says, beachy, beachy. Jack says, I'm back. Evening, Scottie. Happy Friday. Answer it, says Independent, telling me to answer the phone. Fantastic. And there we are. Can you play Bohemian Rhapsody? We can, Keith. The problem is we'd have a copyright problem. So there you are. So you'll just have to have some hymns or some old Scottish tunes.
Yes, an outstanding song that is, one of the best, I think, in the world.
And Jerry says, nice and clear tonight, Scottie, getting blown about here in the capital, blowing a gale. Team holding on, guys. It's rocking and rolling. Now then.
Yes. Well, I was having a wee think of a question, and this might have one that will split the listeners. But I need to think how I'm going to put this across. Basically, we are a very inclusive call-in. I know the people that talk and they do not ever need to explain themselves and they ask about pronouns. All that stuff's not needed. However, in society, we know we have lots of division. And I am very open-minded with lots of things, as you are, Scottie, and a lot of the people. However, there's the interesting to hear the opinion, in particularly of David and I think Professor Numpty on this issue. There is an advert that's been released, and really my question is, Scottie, are we crossing the line? Are we doing things for the sake of it, or is it okay? And the advert is of Father Christmas becoming gay and kissing another man and having.
Well, you see, I don't believe that you're ever going to bring people together by highlighting the differences.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you're going to improve the lot of LGBTQ people by flagging up LGBTQ people all the time. You know, you're not actually going to do it, and you're not going to bring about equality by box ticking. You know? And also what's very, very, very irritating is lumping people's labels together. Yes? So you're then trying to equate somebody's color with their sexual orientation and their sexual proclivity and their ability or their disability. So if I was in a wheelchair, I would get very annoyed that people were asking, yes, is he also colored? Is he gay? Whatever. You think, what's that got to do with my multiple sclerosis or whatever? You see? So all these things, by trying to do the right thing, they're becoming very, very divisive. And you wouldn't actually reference it at all. If somebody said to me, I'm bringing a friend round on Friday night, by the way, just to let you know he's gay, I wouldn't be saying, well, I wasn't actually planning on a relationship with him. I would say I was wanting him to come round for supper because he's very interested in Scottish shipping. Do you see what I mean? It's that sort of thing, Kareem. And this is why we've got it exactly right on Scottie McClue's phone in. Because it doesn't matter who you are or what you are or your race, your creed, your color, your background. If you can come on and have a conversation, great. If you can't, not so good.
You're down the Swanee.
Yeah. Absolutely, you're down the Swanee, and that would make for a much better society. See, where politicians are very, very frightened is getting rid of diversity, because what can they divide and rule?
Oh, yeah.
They need to have a them and us. Look at the House of Commons, the party opposite, the gentleman opposite, the honourable gentleman opposite, the right honourable gentleman opposite. You see? I mean, there would be absolute pandemonium if the leader of the opposition stood up and said, I have to agree with my right honourable friend. He has talked a lot of sense on this.
That won't happen.
No, that's not going to happen. I mean, they come together on certain things, but, they come together when they have sympathy for a tragedy that's happened, like happened this week. But then again, they're still divisive. And what was happening was apparently the Home Secretary was then not invited to a meeting with France because the Prime Minister had apparently tweeted his open letter. You see? Now, people are within their rights to say, look, can we do our diplomacy in diplomatic circles? You know, can we sort? You see, the problem for this is stemming from Brexit. You know, and it's difficult to sort that out.
Well, what I would say, Scottie, is I think, like, when I'm back with the character like Father Christmas, but I think we've spoke before that they were making Superman bisexual, and I think if you think of...
I think you just need to steer absolutely clear of this.
Yeah.
Absolutely clear of this. Father Christmas was visiting a psychiatrist. When asked why he was there, Santa said, when I was little, my mother said that I didn't exist.
I like that, yeah.
You see, I think that's the problem. I think it's people vying to say, this is me. Now, if you decide that you are purely your color, you are purely your religion, you are purely your sexual orientation, you are purely your sexual proclivity, you know, then I think that makes for quite a sad person. So when you say this is me, you say, who's me? Scottie McCLUE.
There's so much more to you.
And then if people go, hang on, is he actually, I was trying to study him last night. Is he actually got a color to him? Hang on, I was trying to study him last night and I wondered if he was gay. I was studying him last night and I thought, is he able-bodied or is he in that chair? Do you see what I mean?
I get you.
And it might change people's opinion if I panned the camera back and there I was in a chair.
Well, yeah.
You know?
I think regarding that, I think instead of trying to change a lot of things that what people have grown up with and used to, bring in new characters, new things, starting you and afresh with different ideas. You know, that's my own opinion.
Yes, but keep the innocence. Let's not make life all about things that can be negated.
Yeah.
You know, it's very interesting. Now, Kareem, you're an educationist, so you'll understand this. I can remember training as a teacher, and in those days it was a video. This shows you how old it was. It was a VHS. And it was, well, in those days it was gym. It was PE. Yeah? Now it's not just health and well-being and all that sort of stuff. So it was gym. And in those days, I can remember this, we just wore our shorts, nothing else, our shorts, and sometimes we had bare feet, bare tops, and sometimes we wore our sand shoes, which were black gym shoes, and no socks. So that's that, and you had these little shorts, and that was it. Now, if we were playing in teams, we were given a plastic band. And the bands were red, yellow, blue, and green, depending on what games were being played. And I can remember in this video, I think it was red and yellow, and as an experiment, they put a child wearing a different colored band into the other team. What do you think happened?
They didn't trust that child.
They did not trust the child and treated them differently. You're not one of us. You're wearing a yellow band. We're red bands. Yeah. So the bands had made a difference. Now, as you know, the bands are there so you recognize who's in your team, who you can pass the ball to. But a very, very interesting experiment in my book.
Let's think of that like the football covers today. You know, like the That's quite an interesting experiment that they've done there, actually.
Yeah. Now, can you imagine the problem if you were standing right at Ibrox with your full Celtic colours on, in amongst all the Rangers players, and you actually shouted over at the Celtic players, "No, guys, the Rangers guys did a brilliant thing there. Let's have it straight. That was amazing what Rangers did. We're all football fans here." They'd all be giving it, "Whoa!
I don't think he'd be seeing the sunlight again."
Get him, lads, get him." You know? Somebody get his face on the phone. You see, it's that sort of thing. I mean, there was a lovely thing I used to tell as a joke. I think it's probably still okay to tell as a joke, but it was a Celtic fan, sorry, a Rangers fan went to the pearly gates, and St. Peter went to the gate and said to him, "Can I help you?" He said, "I'm dead." He says, "Can I come in?" He went, "No, you can't come in just because you're dead. You've got to have done something brave in your life." He said, "I've done something brave." He said, "I put on my Rangers kit, my scarf, my hat, the lot. I went down to Celtic Park. I went right up to the Celtic end. I stood up in the chair and sang at the top of my voice, 'Rangers for the Cup.'" And St. Peter thought for a while. He said, "That is brave, yes. When did you do this?" He said, 2 minutes ago.
Welcome to heaven.
You know, and I mean, it's just these were great Glasgow jokes, and it didn't matter what side you were on. People like a good Glasgow football joke,
Absolutely.
especially if it concerns the old firm. You know.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. But I just thought that would be quite an interesting.
Very, absolutely, very, very interesting. And I don't think we should be changing stuff around to box tick, because I think it's very poor thinking. And I'm asking the question, who are you helping?
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what the TikTok followers are going to be writing down regarding this, or even people in the YouTube. I just thought, I was reading about it, and it was very mixed reviews from people. Like, it's fantastic, it's progressive, we're moving forward as a society. Whereas other people, including gay people, were writing comments saying that no, sometimes you just go to church, leave it alone, and
no, I would say all that so-called inclusivity, which is actually labeled diversity, in other words, diverse, divisive, I would say it's a backward step in society. We are all aware, and switched on people don't judge. Half-witted idiots will always judge.
Yeah, they will.
You know, so there will always be a degree of racism under the surface. There'll be a degree of homophobia. There'll be a degree of heterophobia. You know? Very, very interesting. Here's a half-wit here says, "Who's he yelling at?" Let's put that half-wit down the Swanee. There we go. Down the Swanee with him. And there's one more, Kareem, saying very aggressive. We'll put him down the Swanee as well. Oh, he's a Spurs supporter. They're quite frightened people, aren't they? Right, there we are. Yes. What is it? COYS. Come on, you Spurs.
Oh, listen, Scottie, I just thought that would be interesting.
Kareem, that's brilliant. I shall put this to the nation and say, do you agree that we should be more a country of box tickers? Or do you think that we should just press on and not refer to it? I mean, when we were growing up, every single comic, every book, and there's nobody referred to anything.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? They didn't refer to it. I couldn't have told you, you know, about all the cartoon characters, what their orientation was.
Yeah. But now, well, and nowadays, I think that's the thing you can, and it's, you know, I think you're losing innocence.
Yes.
To an extent as well. Just
yes.
enjoy a cartoon instead of.
Well, I remember that we didn't start to find out really, rightly or wrongly, about reproduction until we were probably 9, 10, that sort of thing. Now they're saying that in primary school they should be taught all these things. Is it even the job of the school to be teaching sex ed?
Well, that's bringing on stuff to a new question.
That's another discussion, isn't it?
The other night I did say about complete education reform, and that will be right down from nursery school right up to the new qualification certificate level. So there are things that I know that they get taught primary, which, I mean, like, and this is from primary teachers, primary twos, primary threes, where they're self-evaluating years beyond what they're capable of doing. You know, I mean, I remember, and you remember as well, when you were in primary school, where it should be fun, playing games and learning basic arithmetic, not sitting down and deeply over analysing.
No.
I mean, I could give you, I would get you some examples. You'd be absolutely shocked, you know, but just some of the things that they're expected to do, and you think that there's no way that a lot of these kids can do that. You know?
Absolutely.
But
I think you're right. I think we should have innocence. I mean, one of the greatest educators was where New Lanark is, Robert Owen.
Right.
Yes, who had his mill and decided that the mill people needed decent housing and they needed decent food and they needed decent schooling. And he said, no books until 7, dancing and singing and marching.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the education system in Japan, Scottie, the primary kids do not get taught anything until late primary, but what they do get taught is about principles, about cleaning, about looking after things, about helping, and that is embedded in early primary school. There is no...
well, you see, I think that's a much healthier attitude. I mean, I'll bet you'll have said to young people, can you help put away the ball? It's not, I've put mine away.
But they don't have janitors. They have the kids do the cleaning as well. They all look after.
Fantastic.
Clean up everything, and you think, wow, that is really teaching them, instead of like what you see with a lot of kids here, that they can't even lift up their own t-shirts because they can't be bothered to leave everything at their feet.
Absolutely. So, now, here we go. What about this one? Here's Pablo in Jamaica. They teach sex education about the dangers like STDs and early pregnancy, and that's what we have to do in the UK, I believe. Now, that makes complete sense to me.
Yes. I think they do that in personal PSE. They do get that. I know, for example, the younger ones in our school this week were getting shown how to put a condom on, etc. So
personal and social education.
Yeah. So I do think that there are certain things, but again, it depends on the school and what they want to add to the curriculum, or how, you know, they've got guidelines what should be put in, but how intense and the content, that's really up to the school.
To the school, absolutely. Here we go, Kareem. Hi there, huge fan. Brilliant idea. Maybe clean their rooms too, says Chat 55. Kareem, as always, lovely to hear your quality subjects, and we shall see what not just one nation, but all the nations think.
DINKY-DOO, Scottie. Thanks for my call.
DINKY-DOO, a privilege and a pleasure as always. There we are. Fantastic stuff just to talk to. Keith, thank you so much for your kindness and your generosity. It is really so much appreciated. We need to talk to you about the buses, my boy. Right, there we go. If you've been ringing and ringing and ringing, see if you can get yourselves on to the front end. Good evening, Scotland and Scottie. Good evening, Scottish night. How lovely to have you with us, DINKY-DOO. If you've just joined us, you're live on TikTok, you're watching the internet phone in. I'm Scottie McCLUE. Hashtag float high, the first lord of the internet. You're live on Scottish phone in. Who's that?
Hi, Scott. How are you today?
I'm fine. Who's that?
It's Jacob.
Jacob.
Jacob, yeah.
Yeah, Jacob. Lovely to have you with us, DINKY-DOO.
DINKY-DOO, how are you doing tonight?
Very well. Thank you for ringing. What can I do for you, sir?
So basically, I'm just phoning up to ask. We were chatting there just recently about the Scottish education system, etc.
Yep.
Yeah, and basically, well, I know someone that works in the Scottish education.
Yep.
And basically, what they have to do is fuck pussy
Right, there we go. Absolutely a half-witted idiot. We thought that was coming, guys. I think he's not had any education, Scottish or otherwise. So there we go. Good evening. Wonderful stuff. Thank you very much, Scottish Knight. And do you think we'll have the white stuff soon, says James Gibb. I think we might get a couple of inches through the night, James. It's certainly cold enough, I can tell you. So there we go. Now then, give us a call as soon as you possibly can. Lots to talk about and so little time to do it in, I say. You're watching Scottie McClue, First Lord of the Internet. Kareem was very, very interesting there, talking about just what we do in education these days, etc., etc. I like that. Now then, what do we got here? 2 seconds, everybody. Let's see what we're doing here. Wonderful. That's good. There we go. Just sorting this one out, guys. Good stuff. That's excellent. I think that's the same half-wit. Just ring again. That's why I'm not bothering taking the call. Just see who this is now. Wonderful. What that allows me to do is sort that out. There we are. Excellent stuff. Now, good. Right, there we go. That's a good cut-off, Scotty. Nothing gets past you, mate. Quick on the ball. Absolutely, Pablo. We don't want the half-wits on here. Brrr. Wrap up well, folks. Absolutely. That's what I always say. Wrap up well. There we go. Good stuff. Wonderful. Okay. Yes, indeed. It's going to be very, very cold tonight, so make sure you're well wrapped up, I say. There we go. I'll just do that as well. Fantastic. That's what we want. Good. Sorry about the noise, guys. There we go. Just sorting that out. Excellent stuff. Wee bit of nonsense. Wee bit of RJ Barjay from the idiots. You do get a bit of that from time to time. Hi, First Lord of the Internet. Hello, hi, Jem. Take care out there tonight. The weather's mental. I drove from Arbroath to Airdrie and it's dodgy. But Scottish Knight, sometimes it can be dodgy driving from Arbroath to Airdrie anyway. But I do understand he's being sensible. We're not making light of it. Scottie, you having a technical meltdown? No, Scottish Knight just very, very busy. Sounds like first night at the xylophone lessons. Ah, Cornelio, not everybody has had your experience in life. Quite right. There we are. No, just sorting out one or two idiots that don't quite understand how the world works. We like that. So that's always good. There we go. Wonderful stuff. Now, who have we got here? Here's Callum following us. Thank you very much. Excellent stuff. All that way for a kipper, says chap. What's the sound? That's the phones. Hi, First Lord of the Internet. DINKY-DOO. Lovely to have you with us. Give us a call, folks, if you want to. The lines are open, of course. And remember, if you don't have a number, we won't take your call because we don't want the half-wits on. The last half-wit did not have a number. So we just won't take that call again. Wonderful. And I think it's so important to keep our standards up. Did you like that one, Pablo? I thought that was rather good. Fantastic. There we go. Now then, good evening, Scottie, says the wonderful Neil O'Gormley. Good evening, Neil. Lovely to have you with us. And DINKY-DOO. Good evening, Scottie, son, says Jack W. Good evening, Jack W. son. Maybe save the numbers, mate. Well, we will, Pablo. Yes, absolutely. And they could get a wee tap on the door from the fuzz. I'm just back from my missus' house in Croydon. Andy, Pandy, how is the missus in Croydon, I say? It's dodgy in Falkirk, Scottie. How's it going with you, big man? Very, very busy. We're warm in the studio here. We decided just to tuck in. That was an impressive trigger work shutting down the idiot. Did you like that one, Cornelio? McClue's not just an athlete, you know. There we are. I think 40 years tends to help with the experience. I think it's the weather for the soup makers. James, I think you've got a very good point. Blessed are the soup makers, we say, for they shall be. What shall they be? I don't know. Hello, Scottie. I'm from Plymouth in the UK. Donna, I got pulled up when I was working on ITV. I remember announcing a Sunday service from St Andrews in Plymouth. And somebody said, it's actually Plymouth. There we are. Andy Pandy has sent me some beautiful sunglasses. You could tell it was coming. You could, Cornelio, couldn't you? Dinky-Doo, big man. What's up, sir? Nothing is up. Everything's up. Nothing's down. Have you ever experienced a pea super, Cornelio? I was in Glasgow one night. It must have been around 1974. And I turned onto Argyle Street. You could go both ways along these streets in those days. There was none of all this pedestrianised or closed off or one-way traffic. And I didn't know what way I was going. And I was driving an 850 Mini with sliding windows. And I had the sliding windows open and the fog was coming in. And I heard two people pass and go, gosh, I've not even experienced one like this in London, said this guy in that kind of voice. And there was a bus. I just saw something approaching me and was very relieved to find it was on the other side of the road. And it was a bus, two tiny little yellow circles. And that was the bus headlights. And I didn't see them till they were almost on me. Very, very frightening. A real pea super. So there we are. And of course, there's no point putting your headlights on because you'll just get it straight back at you. Right back at you, as they say in America. So there we go. Amazing. Just fine and dandy for the soup makers. Scottish broth or lentil. James, I am very, very torn between the two of them. Who's this? Hang on. You're live on Scotty's phone. Just give me a second. Let's get you sorted out here. Hello, you're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Hello? There we are. He's gone. Anyway, not to worry. Perhaps he'll come back, I always say. That's what it's about. Just fine and dandy for the soup makers. There we are. Here we go. Hello? No. Thought he was coming back. There we go. Fantastic. Right, lines are open, guys. Wonderful stuff. You have all the experience in the world, mate. You're onto something before you even knew it. There we go. Just fine and dandy. Blessed are the soup makers, for they are just fine and dandy. I'm just back from Florida, Scotty. All the sevens, we love it. Kirby the Annihilator, Mr. McClue, what are your thoughts on the availability of weapons in the United States? Well, it's not necessarily my thoughts, because my thoughts don't really count. Although I did give my fellow Americans a happy Thanksgiving video, and you'll see it on TikTok and YouTube. But there's two schools of thought. The Americans having the right to bear arms. Yes, I don't mean bear arms. I mean to bear arms, to carry arms. Yeah, the rights of the Americans. Now, a lot of people say they should get rid of that. Guns are dangerous. Yes. Well, also people are dangerous and the guns. There's another way of looking at this. People who wish America ill, right? People who, for some reason, are anti-American. And there might be the odd one or two in the world. It's quite reassuring to know that the Americans themselves are a defense asset. Yes? In fact, effectively the biggest army in the world. So if somebody attacked the United States, almost every adult American with the right to bear arms could come to its defense. There's an interesting thought. Just introducing something new to the mix, guys. Keith Snedden has sent me another £5. Keith, you are very, 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 very generous. That is so very, very kind of you. Keith has topped the dollar bill at the bottom of the super chat. James says, have you ever tried Cullen's skink soup? It's braw, Lord McClue. James, one of my favourite dishes is Cullen's skink. You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Scottie.
Yes. Who is it? Numpty Heat.
Me.
Numpty Heat, how are you? It's a dreadful line.
What's in here? That's the wind, Scottie.
The wind, absolutely. You're troubled with the wind.
I'm in the...
Where are you, Numpty Heat? You're at the caravan.
Oh, it's in here, Scottie. This is a line before.
Is it quite wild, Numpty Heat? Oh, are you all right? Are you all right, Numpty Heat? Hello? Numpty Heat, are you okay? Oh my goodness, I'm a bit worried about Numpty Heat. He's out in the countryside tonight in the wilds. He said he was going to winter his caravan. And that sounds a wee bit worrying, actually. I hope he's okay. How does the homemade soup taste better on the second day? I don't know, David. Well, I do, because everything's had a chance to absorb all the other things. Let's see who this is. Hello, you're live with Scotty's phone in. Who's that? Hello? Can you hear us? Hello, you're live with Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Santa Scottie. How are you?
Hello, son. How are you, Martin? Are you dinky-doo?
I'm very, very well, son. You?
Yes, we're absolutely fine, son. What's happening?
It's very, very cold tonight. Very cold.
Yes, very, very cold tonight, Martin.
What is it, Scottie? What's the weather, please?
The weather tonight, well, of course, be very careful going out tonight. Make sure you wrap up warm. Temperatures much lower than normal for this time of year, and very, very high winds gusting up to 70 miles an hour. So perhaps not the best idea to have the brolly with you tonight. Heavy rain in a lot of places, but the brolly may blow itself inside out. So best to stay indoors and keep nice and warm. That's your weather.
Scottie.
Did you like that, Martin?
Very, 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 very good, Scottie. Why do they call those weather things different storm names?
I don't actually know that. Well, I suppose it's to identify what it is. When did you lose your roof? I lost it when Storm Esmeralda came. You see, when I was a wee boy, Martin, I lived in a place called Greenock. And in 1968, in January 1968, Greenock and the whole of the west of Scotland experienced a very, very serious, very high gale force storm. And boats were smashed up. Lives were lost first. That's the most important thing. People lost their lives. Tenements had their roofs ripped off them. And what happens, if anybody's ever interested in Scottish independence, Willie Ross, who was the Secretary of State for Scotland at the time, a very nice man, he went to London to ask for money and was refused. Now, that alone is enough to put the most unionist person against the union. You know, it was shocking. And as I say, people lost their lives, and it took years to repair all the tenements in Glasgow and Port Glasgow and Greenock and Paisley and Kilmarnock and Gourock and all the boats. There was an 8-meter yacht in the Wains paddling pool, as somebody told me.
Wow.
So there we are. Cornelio's asking about the right to bear arms in America and saying, does that right apply in every US state?
Have you ever been to a Dawson before?
Oh, yes. I used to go to Ardrossan to get the boat to Arran.
Did you? Nice.
Yes, and Ardrossan also had day trips from Ireland with the Isle of Man Steam Packet Company. And also, I think the ferry, the Manx Maid or the Lady of Man, the ferry, used to come in and take people from Ardrossan to Ireland. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
And Ardrossan used to build ships.
Yes.
So it was a great place.
I am getting early because it's President on Tuesday. I am getting a new cooker on Tuesday.
Lovely, Martin. Excellent.
So Emma can cook me a lot of nice. Emma's going to bake me stuff and all that.
Yes, and I hope you'll be helping her.
I am.
Yes. How's she getting on?
Hi, Scottie.
Hello, lovely. How are you keeping?
I'm not too bad.
Not too bad. Well done. Emma had a fall the other day, guys. Martin had to take her to E&A, and she bruised her ribs.
Yes, and chest.
And her chest, yes.
So she's on the mend slowly, but it's going to take a good 2 weeks for her to be 100%. But she's okay. But
you'll be looking after her, and that's good.
So I am making a hot chocolate and all that, and giving her hot water bottles. At the moment, I am at my mum's at the moment until Sunday. Then I'm going back to Ardrossan on Sunday.
You're a great man, Martin. Lovely to hear you. And listen, we'll catch up soon. Have a lovely weekend.
Yes, I'll phone again tomorrow.
Phone me tomorrow night, Saturday night, 9 o'clock sharp. DINKY-DOO.
Okay, DINKY-DOO. Love you.
Lots of love. Bye-bye, Martin. There we go. Now, who have we got here? You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hi, Scottie. It's David. How are you?
David, how lovely to hear you. DINKY-DOO.
You all right, son?
Oh, I'm all right. What a fantastic program tonight.
What happened, son, tonight then? Was it good or bad?
What?
Good or bad?
What, on the show?
Yeah.
Everything's been absolutely superb, except we had one half-wit, but you're always going to get that.
Again.
And we had to just block him.
Yeah.
So he's got a lifetime ban for being an idiot.
That's good, of course. Did Numpty phone in?
Numpty phoned in, but we're quite worried about Numpty. He's at his caravan out in the country, and you could hardly hear him.
A caravan in the winter?
Yes.
That's mental.
No, well, he said he was going to winterize his caravan. So I don't know what that means. Probably drain down the water.
That's weird. I mean, winter time caravan, I'd be like cold.
Cold. But here's Robert Scrimger, a very sensible man. And Robert says, for all we moan about the weather, be thankful we have the Gulf Stream keeping us warm. Otherwise, we would, hang on, what's he saying here? Keeping us warm. Otherwise, we'd be like Norway or Iceland.
Oh, I mean, even like winter in a caravan, is that normal?
Well, no, I wouldn't put Numpty Heed down as somebody who does everything normal. Do you know what I mean? I don't think of all Numpty Heed's great strengths, I wouldn't say normality is one of them.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. He's a lovely guy. Obviously caused a lot of upset last week, but that's him.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a straight talker, but I still wouldn't say, how would you describe Numpty Heed? I would say just normal.
He's always said like me. He's always sounds like happy sounds like really. He's always sounds like. I'm thinking he always sounds like me.
David, I don't think you can see my mug.
What, son?
I don't think you'll be able to see. Can you see my mug?
Big mug is beautiful.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Mug. I love that big mug. I can see it.
It's actually bigger than my head, and that's saying something.
A white mug in boats.
All the ships on it. Aha!
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Honestly, Scottie. So what happens tonight? What's the subject?
Well, the subjects tonight, Kareem brought up some brilliant subjects. He said, are we as a society going over the top, trying to make our cartoon heroes and media heroes that they have to be gay? At the moment, there's an advert causing a stushy because they're saying that Santa's got a boyfriend.
Okay, so
now, I think you'll know yourself, David, this is not good for gay people.
Not good.
You know?
Come on now, it's not good.
And I was saying to Kareem, if somebody said to me, I'm bringing Jimmy McWackle round on Friday night for dinner, Scottie, by the way, he's gay, I would say to them, why did you tell me that? Because I'm not planning on having a relationship with them. I was going to ask him about his knowledge, you know.
I know. Again, right, can I say something out loud?
Of course you can.
This Friday coming, they said Black Friday should be a Black Friday because it's a racist. It's Black Friday is racist.
Well, yes, it's a strange thing to call it. Although, when I was wee, every Friday the 13th was known as Black Friday. And people said that not nice things happened on that day.
But I think, okay, I can say something to you. But Black Friday was not normal to me. I don't care. I don't even know what it meant. Black Friday was.
Well, it just meant that you had to watch Friday the 13th. It was regarded as unlucky. It was nothing to do with people of colour.
But all the people today, it says cancel Black Friday. It's racist.
Well, you see, what race are shoppers?
It's disgusting.
What race are shoppers, David? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gone too far, Scottie.
Yes.
Well, honestly, since that man was killed in America, I'll be back with it 2 years ago.
Yes, that's right. The one that had the Black Lives Matter campaign. Yes. Now, David, here's some news just in. Numpty Heat saying on the chat, sorry, but the phone signal's rotten down in the borders. So at least we know he's all right. I was frightened in case he'd been blown away.
Well, it's funny because see, in my sheet, the wind's howling right now. It's howling.
It's howling. It's absolutely. It's enjoying the phone in.
By the way, how's Pablo?
Pablo's wonderful tonight, and he was saying the joy that you brought the other night with your call. And he said when he listened to it, he said all that was overwhelming was Scottie's back.
I love Pablo, you know.
He was just loving. He was loving you and I just doing a bit of banter.
You're just you're a tongue twister. I call you a tongue twister.
A tongue twister, absolutely. Do you remember people used to say that about folk? They say, "What do you think of Jimmy? So watch him. He's a twister." Always remember, Davey, see if you get this one right. A lady went into the vet with a big dog and she said, he's in discomfort. And the vet said, yes, because he's got a twisted bowel. She said, what are you going to do? He says, I'll untwist it. Yes. So she came in a year later in the August and she says to him, the dog's got the twisted bowel again. He said, well, I'll untwist it, but it'll twist again like it did last summer.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. The people who phone in need to just stop waffling. Do you like that one?
I like it, seriously. Yeah, I do. Scottie, you're a man. You're a man.
Full of nonsense, Davey. We are full of nonsense. Listen, lovely to hear you. He's near Coldingham or Coldingham in the East Coast. Numpty Head is in the East Coast. He's near a place called, it's either Coldingham or Coddingham.
Oh, see him? He needs to settle down and see his fucking house.
He needs to clean the house, absolutely. Here Suzanne says, I love David. He makes me laugh with his laugh. He really looks forward to his calls. He cheers me up.
That's good. Suzanne! Hi, Suzanne!
Dinky-Doo, I say. Fantastic. Hello. Martin's the man, says everybody. I need to call in myself. Wonderful. Davey, I'm going to run because we're running out of time and they're all piling in here. Love you to bits and take care, and love to you and John. Dinky-Doo. Ta-ra-la-la. That's your Davey. There we are. Fantastic. I live in Jedburgh, mate. I never knew you stayed in the borders. Aha. Class. There we are. I delivered mail in a Hurricane B bag. Unionists will say we are beggars, which beggars belief. Absolutely independent Scotland. That's his handle, by the way. And mind that storm, Scottie. Do you remember 1968? You're live on Scotty's phone in. Who's that?
Hello there, Scottie.
Hello, who's that?
It's Edward.
Edward, how lovely to hear you. Are you Dinky-Doo?
Now and then.
No, you're not Dinky-Doo?
How's things okay?
Excellent, yes, absolutely, absolutely. And your good self.
Dinky-Doo, Dinky-Doo.
You're Dinky-Doo. That's what we like to hear, Edward. Good for you, my boy. Wonderful stuff. Right, Coddingham or Coldingham is near Eyemouth. We need to drain the vans for winter. I'm here for the night. It's freezing cold. Numpty Head. Do not get hyperthermia. That's what I can say to you. To the telephones, guys, as quickly as possible. Lots to talk about and so little time to do it in. That's what I always say. Yes, indeed. Scottie, 2 hours tomorrow. Oh, Pablo, I don't know if we can manage that because your problem is you can only do an hour at a time on the TikTok, you see. I mind the storm, absolutely. What year was that, Scottie? 1968 Scottish night. Yes, indeed. Do you own a kilt? I do indeed. You'll see me on the kilt on the TikTok videos. Guys, see when you're watching me on TikTok, do you check out the TikTok videos? Do you follow Scottie McCLUE? So I think you should. Well, there was a change of subject. So there we go. A wee woman on a bike just flew past my window, Scottie. Blowing a hoolie. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello.
Oh, who's that?
It's Daniel.
How dare you? How dare you? Scottie, what's Numpty Head done? He's gone to his caravan in the worst night of the winter. Silly man. There we are. Feed the Swanee with these people, float high. Do you ever do dual lives on here? Independent Scotland sometimes, but we don't want to get any nutcases on. Swanee, down with them, the Swanee Malaki. How silly is Black Friday? Well, I don't know. I don't buy anything on Black Friday because there's nothing I need. We'll be having your Christmas dinner, Scottie. I'm not sure this year. There we are. I thought you said it's Daniel, not how dare you. All right, sounded like how dare you. There we go. Fantastic. Right, no doubt they'll phone back if they've got something to say. I always say. What do we get? The weather is awful. I thought that, Numpty Head. I'm going to say goodbye to our beautiful, beautiful TikTokers just because we're out of time. We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. Dinky-Doo TikTokers. There they go. They are so lovely. I love our TikTokers, guys. And we are, of course, live on the YouTube channel. Now, has everybody watching YouTube right now subscribed and tapped the bell? Would you do it? Can you see the subscribe button? Now, guys, don't pretend to do it. Don't say you'll do it later. Just actually click subscribe. It doesn't cost you a thing. And then we're starting to build the channel. Okay. Scottie, do you know Malik? I haven't been, but I know of Malik. Wow, my kilt just blew up, says Jerry. You be careful, Jerry. Yes, indeed. You don't want to do any collateral damage. And last year's stocks, that's all it is. Is it? Well, I mean, I'm not needing anything. I got my little bit of equipment and I'm going to buy some more, but not on Black Friday. Hi, Scottie, says John. Dinky-Doo. John, lovely to have you with us. Numpty Head will defend his corner if he is allowed. Guys, we're absolutely out of time. What a fabulous, fabulous show tonight. Dinky-Doo to every single one of you. Do you like Hoik, Scottie? No, I don't like Hoik. I love Hoik. Night, everybody. Ta-ra, lads.